Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. This is Kerm Foltz with Market Leader. We want to welcome you to today's webinar. Our focus today is how you can add 40 leads in less than 30 days into your pipeline. So I'm going to quickly go through our agenda. What I encourage you to have is a piece of paper, pen and pencil in front of you. Jot down a few of the thoughts that we talk about. Jot down a few things that you want to implement in your business after attending today's webinar, as well as feel free to chat in any questions or clarification that you might want me to repeat or comment or questions, and I will answer those as well. So here's a few things that we're going to talk about. Before we can talk about how to generate 40 leads in 30 days, I do want to take a few minutes on talking about a systematic approach for connecting with your leads. One of the keys and one of the things I put on our webinar invite today, it's how to add 40 leads into your pipeline within 30 days, but how to actually turn those 40 leads into 25 contacts. And I'll walk you through what I mean by a definition of a contact. And then also, how do the techniques to have then those contacts proactively reach out to you? And what percentage of those contacts should proactively reach out to you? So I'll walk you through some of those things as well. Then also, I will provide everyone on today's webinar 9 emails that work. You can just quickly copy and paste and utilize in your business as well. Everyone who attends today's webinar, I will send an email. I'll have our marketing department send an email for our recording as well as the 9 emails that work. Okay, does that make sense? Everybody hear that? So at the end, in a couple of hours, I'll send everybody the recording and the PDF of the 9 emails. If you want it ASAP, I'll give you a phone number and you can get it right away. Also then is I'll show you a live demonstration of what you can do to add 40 leads in 30 days from Google, Bing, and Yahoo, from Craigslist, as well as techniques for referrals and for your sphere of influence. Does that make sense, everybody? Are we excited? All right. I want to, before I go into this funnel, I want to take our first poll question real quick. So I want 100% participation. So make sure you participate here. How many leads do you currently generate a month? Okay. Share with me real quick. Is it less than 20? Is it 21 to 40? Is it 41 to 60? Or is it more than 61? Okay. A couple people are already more than 61. Nice job. I assume most are going to be under 20, which is fine. That's why you're on there today. RJ, 41 to 60. That's awesome. Melanie, less than 20. I'm going to be able to help you. Okay. I know the pain of not having enough leads in your business because leads turn into contacts, contacts turn into potential buyers and sellers, and potential buyers and sellers turn into transactions. Okay. Bobby Dean, good morning. 158. Bobby Dean is a current customer of Market Leader, and so Bobby, some of this content you've probably already heard, but welcome. Thanks for being here. Good morning. I'm sure it's warm down there in the south. Bobby Dean, current customer, part of our $1 Million Pipeline program here at Market Leader. He's generated 158 leads in the last 30 days on average each and every month. So that's awesome. Tom Stutz, Tom, 5 leads. I'll be able to help you on that as well. We're up to 60% vote. Please vote. How many leads do you currently generate a month? Is it less than 20, 21 to 40, 41 to 60, or more than 61? Let's close it. Let's share it. As you can see here, 76% less than 20, 17% 21 to 40, 2% 41 to 60, 5% more than 61. Bobby Dean, I'm going to assume you, amongst a couple of other people, are in that more than 61. So here's what you're going to get out of it. First of all, is I am going to walk you through some techniques to turn contacts or turn leads into contacts. All right. Then after you understand, here's what I always think. You don't spend any money on leads if you don't know how to turn them into contacts. Okay? Don't spend any time generating leads if you don't know how to turn them into contacts. If you know how to turn leads into contacts, spend money, spend time, because I will guarantee they'll turn into transactions. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay? So I am telling you, don't spend money, don't spend time if you don't understand how to turn a lead into a contact. If you understand how to turn a lead into a contact, spend a whole bunch of money, spend a whole bunch of time, because it's going to turn into revenue for you. So let me walk you through. Top of the pipeline. These are all the people that are not ready, okay, to connect with a real estate professional. Suspects are website visitors. These are people that have been thinking. All right, they're visiting websites, they're collecting a little bit of information, but they don't want any ongoing information. Okay? They don't want any ongoing information. They don't write you any commission checks. This is what Trulia does for you. This is what Zillow does for you. All right? It's where you spend your marketing, where you spend your advertising dollars, all right? It's the key is, this is where you just put your face, hope someone calls. This is branding opportunities. But these are people that aren't ready for ongoing information, okay? Next lead. This is a lead. These are people that connect directly with you. Now, you have two different ways on this. It can be indirect and it can be direct. Direct means that they know they're providing you with their information. Does that make sense? Indirect means they have no idea who's getting that information. Indirect means they have no idea who's getting this information. All right, let's talk about some ideas on that. What does that mean? All right, these are not bad leads, but you got to work them in a different way. So let's say I'm a RE/MAX agent, or a Prudential agent, or a Long Foster agent, or Better Homes and Gardening. It doesn't matter where I am. If a lead goes to that company website and puts in their information, that's an indirect lead, because they have no idea who's getting that info, and you have no idea about their information. Okay? So that forces you to interview. Someone becomes a lead off of Trulia, off of Zillow. They have no idea who you are. You have no idea about them. Okay? That's an indirect lead. A direct lead is when they register or connect with you directly from your website. Make sense? Okay, so I just want to clarify indirect, direct. All right, now next part of the funnel. Prospects or contacts. I like to use the word contacts. So not every lead is a contact. And often we treat every lead as a contact. So one of the things I'm going to talk about is I'm going to give you a plan of attack to do with every lead, and then a percentage of those will turn into a contact. What is a contact? That is someone that comes back to you on your website every day or every week. All right, so that means that now you have to know that. But a definition of a contact is someone that's coming back and educating themselves. It'd be like 15 years ago, them coming back into your office every week to get more information. Think about that visual. 10, 15, 20 years ago, these are people that are coming back. A contact is someone that continues to come back week after week after week or day after day after day and collecting information. The only difference between 15 years ago and today, they're collecting the information not in your office, but they're collecting that information on your website. Okay? Everybody with me? Next one. Okay? A percentage of those contacts are actually going to turn into potential listings and buyers. What does that mean? These are people that are calling you. These are people that are emailing you directly, okay, asking specific questions. What do those specific questions look like? How big's the kitchen? How long has it been on the market? What do you think we can get it for this price? How much is my home worth? How does my home compare to other homes in my neighborhood? Okay. Can you help me get approved for a loan? Okay. Is there HOA dues associated with this townhome? What's the neighborhood like? What's the school district like? Those are questions that they are proactively reaching out to you. I want to sell my home and purchase one that's a little bit smaller or purchase one that's a little bit bigger because I have a family of 3 with 3 kids. How soon can I get my home off the market? How quickly can I purchase the next one? Okay. These are questions that people are asking in their head. These are questions that they will proactively reach out to you. Make sense? So that's how you separate. These are not, you have to categorize your leads into contacts and then into potential listings and buyers. Okay, so leads are people that connect directly with you or connect with you. Okay, prospects or contacts are people that can continue to go back to your site. Listings and buyers are people that reach out to you. Then the whole fun part, transactions. All right, so let me walk you through what this looks like. This is one of the reasons why, actually I have one more thing on my, there we go. There's the end of my funnel. So I want you to talk about, let's talk about someone who generates 50 leads a month. Because I really think if you want 4, 5, 6 transactions a month, okay, You want 50, 60, 70 transactions a year. You want to be $1 million agent, okay? You want a six-figure income, so you want 100, 125, 150, 200, 300, $400,000 a year in gross commission. You need 50 leads a month, okay? Now, out of those 50, 22 of them to 28 with the right techniques will turn into contacts, okay? 11 to 17 of them will reach out to you via email or via phone, all right? And then 4, we'll say 7, it's sometimes 8, will turn into transactions, okay? And I think that is within, when you do this, okay, within 9 months, you're getting that. Now, when you do this consistently every month, and this is why I'm going to share with you the $1 million pipeline, when you do this consistently every month, that's how you get 50, 60, 70 transactions. Now, the key here is, let's say you're only generating 10 a month. Now, what does this look like? Well, this is 4 to 6, okay? This is 1 to 3, and this is the outcome and the result is 0 to 1. So I know that's why you're on today's webinar, which I'll walk you through, is how to generate 40 leads in 30 days. But I want you, when I share with you some of the techniques to utilize, when you utilize these techniques, you're going to get this. Guarantee it. But you got to be here, okay? If you're here, boy, when that one person doesn't turn into a sale, you're heartbroken, okay? When these people don't turn into sales, you don't care because you got 4 to 7 transactions that month. Right? So it's all about having enough people in your pipeline. So one of the things I've done is we've created, session 2 is coming up. Okay, Bobby Dean, who's generated 158 leads over the last 30 days, okay? Bobby Dean, you're going to be excited because I just created session 2. Okay? And session 2 of the $1 Million Pipeline Program is going to be even better than session 1. So the $1 Million Pipeline Program, which starts the beginning of May, session 2. We're almost done with session 1. It's all about these classes. So I teach you, if you want to be a part of the $1 Million Pipeline Program, I teach you what to do to generate leads each and every month, but more importantly, how to turn leads into contacts, contacts into potential listings and buyers, and potential listings and buyers actually into closed deals. So some of the classes we talk about is we give you, in step by step, the 7-day plan of attack for buyer leads, for listing leads. Ask the coach, ask your peer, taking advantage of marketing, advanced engagement strategies. So all those things are included. Okay. So here's the key. If you have questions, chat in your questions throughout this workshop and webinar. But the springtime's here. Okay. You got to be able to connect with people that are active. And so I'll teach you how to do that. The next thing you got to understand is you can only reach out to them if you have relevant content. If you reach out without a purpose, you appear as another face in the crowd. What you always want to appear is unique and successful and purposeful. So the only time, okay, the only time that you can reach out is if you have something to talk about. So Frank, I'll give you my email address. So one of the things that you can do is, just as a quick reminder, is purposeful communication. What do I mean by purposeful communication? Okay? If you don't have a reason to reach out, and it can't be to interview them or interrogate them or ask questions, but if you don't have a reason to reach out, then don't. Okay? Because in order to build, grow, and manage your successful real estate business, you must only communicate with a purpose. Here's the reason why we're going to talk for the next 10 minutes about your strategies. Okay? Because now I can give you 40 leads, but if you don't know what to do with that lead, okay, or why the consumer is connecting with you, then you're just going to fall flat on your face, and I don't want you to do that. Okay? I don't want you to spend money or spend time if you don't understand what to do with a lead. Does that make sense, everybody? So now the whole thing is you got a lead. Now which way is the right approach? Because there's several different approaches you can take. One of the keys is I need everybody to understand, and this is a statistic from Google, 90% of searches that are done on Google in regard to real estate are searching for what? Do you know? It's not an agent. Okay? They're searching for specific homes and pictures and details from homes that are active on the market. Really, 90%. I found that number astounding. The other 10% are searching in regard to real estate about processes, about market conditions, about neighborhood information, okay, or successfully purchase, how to processes. All right, 90% are searching for homes or searching for the value of their home. Okay, so that's one of the things I think is the key. Now they have tons of choices, and none of these choices are bad if you have the right plan of attack. I don't work for Trulia. I don't work for Zillow. I don't work for Realtor.com. Okay. All right. Some agents spend their money there and are very successful. Why? Not because of the lead, because they have a plan of attack. They have a plan of attack how to turn that lead into a contact, that contact into a listing or buyer, and that listing and buyer into a transaction. Okay? I'll be honest with you, I work for Market Leader. I coach and teach real estate agents what to do. I love it. I go on the road, I speak, I coach, I teach agents what to do. All right? And what I mean by what to do is when they have a lead, how to turn it into a contact. Okay? Think about the lottery. Right? The more tickets that you have, the more chances you have to win. How many tickets do you have in your business today? How many tickets are you generating, are you purchasing in your business today? You need to have tickets. Okay? You need to have 50 tickets a month, which are leads. Okay? Now, remember, the whole key here, okay, is this pipeline. All right? And that's what we do. Now, the power of email. If we know that 90% of consumers are searching online for pictures and details about homes or the value of their home, then 90% of your emails that you send to someone should be about what? Updated market conditions, how their home compares to other homes in the market, or actual pictures and details of homes. 90% of your emails that you send out should be about those two things. The value of their home, how it stacks up to other homes in the neighborhood, if they're a potential seller, or listings and details and pictures about homes. 90% of your emails should be about that. Now I ask you this, what is 90% of your emails about? Most times, when I work with agents, I'll ask them, send me all the emails that you send, or let me see your system. And what is it all about? Hey, I was touching base. I was thinking about this. Is there anything I can help you with? Are you looking to buy? Are you looking to sell? And what is the reply? No. Call me later. Take me off your list. Or you just don't get a reply. It's because you're sending the wrong information. Okay? So you have to be able to talk to a lead in a space or a medium that doesn't scare them off. Okay, and I'll show you some examples of what to do on that. All right, potential sellers, potential buyers, everyone who's, remember, 90% of people when they're going to Google, and I'm just using Google as an example because I have this statistic, are curious about the value of their home and how it stacks up to other people, or they're curious about homes that are on the market with specific criteria or details. So that's what you send them. Don't send them anything else. Now, if you want to win the battle of communication, if you want to win the battle of email, then it's all about your website. And I hope that you didn't spend a ton of money on your website. Remember, I'm going to continue to go back with this. 90% of people, what do they want? How their home stacks up to other homes in the neighborhood, or pictures and details about homes that are specific to their criteria. So on your website, it's got to be all about that. Does that make sense? It's got to be consumer focused. If you have on your front page about anything else, then it's agent focused, and it can't be agent focused. People tell me all the time, oh, the consumers are so hard to engage, they're not loyal. You're sending them the wrong info. Okay? So a couple of things. Your goal of a website, there's only two. Well, there's two primarily. One, it's got to be able to generate leads for you. It has to generate leads for you. okay? And the second is, it's got to be able to educate today's consumer. You should use your website in the manner to generate leads and to educate the leads that you have. That's how you turn leads into contacts. You know who's responsible for turning leads into contacts? Okay. Todd, quick question. Todd's got a call. Is this call for recruiting purposes? Okay. Do you mean is the webinar for recruiting purposes? I'm not recruiting anybody. Okay. No. No. I'm here to educate a few people, okay, for them to implement in their business. If they want to be a part of the $1 Million Pipeline program, then I'll give those details later on. Okay. But I want everybody to understand, okay, your website's all about generating leads, having today's consumer connect directly with you. Now, how do you do that? All right, you got to have a lead capture tool. So how do you get the consumer to connect directly with you? You provide them with what they're looking for, which is the value of their home, curious how it stacks up, or pictures and details about homes in the market. And then you ask them if they want updated reports of that information. Okay, then they provide you with that information, and then you send that to them. If you're doing it correctly, it's automated, okay, on a consistent basis. So what does that look like? Someone who wants pictures and details about homes on the market, okay, if they want updates on it, we'll call them listing alerts. They register directly with you, and then your system sends it out to them automatically. Or they're curious about how their home stacks up and how the market is doing, then you ask them if they want monthly reports on that with a pop-up. And those that want it register directly with you, that's a lead. So you have to have a lead capture tool with an effective value proposition for today's consumer. Okay? And then there's other things here that I have as well. Okay? Now, Randy, Randy's got a great question here. Randy, how many leads do you have each and every month are you getting? Okay? Now, here's a couple of things I want you to do. Identify this, and I put this as an email strategy, but it's really email or text or anything, or phone. Okay? Let me just chat down a couple. Chat. I love some of the questions I'm already getting from people. Nancy, love it. Thank you very much. Okay, you got to identify what is your purpose of your communication. If it's text, if it's phone, if it's email. Your first one should be specific. Okay, if it's specific about, if this is about emails, you are communicating or demonstrating your strength. Okay, for first-time home buyers or as a listing agent. Okay. You got to confirm information. You want to avoid interviewing. You want to avoid interrogating. And here's the key about email. It is very, very short, and you got to be able to provide a link back to your website. Question to you right now is, do you want them going back to your website? If it's a no, get a new website. If it's a yes, all right, then provide a link to your site. Now, what should that link be? It can't be visit my website, but it has to be for a monthly, for an updated market report in your city or in your zip, click here. That drives them to your website. Or for 4-bedroom, 2-bath homes under $400,000 in Carlsbad, click here. Does that make sense? You can't have the whole, you have to give them a reason to click that link. If it's one of those things, just, hey, visit my website, click here, that's a no-go. It's not going to work. Okay? Now, subject lines. Always put their first name in the subject line. Okay? Always put, Randy, I just answered your question real quick. Always put their first name in the subject line. Ideas for subject lines, here's your estimate, up-to-date neighborhood info, 4 must-see homes, thank you for registering. Okay? Does that make sense? Now, next one. If it's active contacts, okay, so people that are actively coming back to you, that's when you use the MLS. Never use the MLS to send listings. Okay, never. Because you have no insight. Okay, and it doesn't allow the consumer to continue to search. Okay, Chris has a great question. I'm a new agent. Chris is a new agent. I do not have any listings yet. Is a website important at this stage? If so, what should I include on that website? Great question, Chris. First of all, a website's a must-have because the website does two things. It generates leads for you, okay? Because remember, we're consumers gathering their information. They're not going to pick up the phone and call an agent to gather information, okay? They're in gather mode. They're in collect mode, all right? They're determining when that window of opportunity is to buy or sell their home. So they're going online to connect and gather all that information. So you have to have an online presence, which is your website, okay? And so you have to have, and I'll show you through those 5 must-haves, okay? Chris, you had what should I include on this list? 1, it's got to have IDX. 2, it's got to have a lead capture tool. That lead capture tool can't be contact me, call me, okay? I walked through that just briefly. It's got to be connected to a contact management system, not a database. So it has to have a contact management system that tracks and monitors everything that occurs on the website so you have insight. I'll shoot you my email, Chris, and we can talk. Okay? So what do you send people that are in your database or in your pipeline? Okay? That's when you take the information that's stored in the MLS that they can't find anywhere else and send it to them in email, okay? And what you reach out is when you have insight as to when their window of opportunity. Katrina's got a great question. Please explain why I shouldn't use the MLS searches for my clients. First of all, the client cannot change that search. And usually, Katrina, you spend a whole bunch of time searching a couple of homes, sending it to them. And what if do you know if they like it, if they don't like it, if it's the right home? And what happens after they see those 3 homes that you send them? You don't have any insight, okay? You want them, your website, Katrina, should have all those listings. So my question to you, Katrina, is your website, does it contain and have all of the listings in your MLS? Okay? Your website has to have that. You have to drive consumers back to your website to allow them to search for that information so you have insight on that. Okay? Next one is if you want to re-engage people, send them monthly market analysis. Okay? Communicate, hey, question, is this your window of opportunity? Are you still curious? Okay? Are you still curious about your home value today? Again, I put my name in here, but always put their name in your subject line. New properties on the market. They're going to click on it. If you're a potential maybe seller in the next couple of months, still curious about home values in your neighborhood, they're going to click on it. Okay? Here's another great one. Home prices are up, by 7.8% in your city. Is yours? Great subject line. But you got to have a website that provides them that information. Okay? So one of the things is always provide value, always send them listings, always send them neighborhood statistics, always send them updated market analysis info. That's your content. You want to be engaging, you want to be recognized as a neighborhood expert, that's what you send. If you constantly send them emails that have anything to do with listings and nothing to do with market information, then it's salesy and it's the easiest way to scare off somebody. I'm not talking about your past clients. I'm talking about your leads. Okay? How do you automate? Here's questions I get all the time. How do I capture the lead's contact information? It's a value proposition. Okay? It's a value proposition that aligns with today's consumer. How often should you email? Only email when you have a window of opportunity. What should you email? Relevant content. Okay? This is all about that $1 Million Pipeline program. And I teach people exactly how to do this. Okay? It's awesome. One of the things you have to appear as, and I go use this all the time, is when you're an agent, you got to be in that co-pilot chair. You can't be in control. Who wins if you choose to be in control? You're right, the consumer does. And they have plenty of choices. So you have to steer, you have to guide, okay? In order to turn a lead, if you want to be in control, if you only want to talk over the phone, If you only want to set an appointment, if you only want to qualify them right when you get a lead, it instantly pops out of your funnel, okay, because you want to be the pilot. I want you, and they want you to be the co-pilot. They need your expertise. They need your negotiating skills. So you must appear as a co-pilot. Now, the whole question is, how do you turn those darn leads into contacts? First thing you have to do is everything you do, it's all about driving the consumer back to your website. This is your website. So some of the questions you had, like Chris, yes, you have to have a website because that's the only way you can educate people. That's the only way that you can allow the consumer to collect and gather information. Do you want consumers? Think about this. Katrina, you, and I'll help you as well. Okay? Do you want consumers on Google, on Bing, on Yahoo, on Realtor.com, on Zillow, on anything? Do you want them there collecting information and becoming smarter and becoming more intelligent and becoming and having a better understanding of when their window of opportunity is to buy or sell? Or do you want them collecting and gathering all that information and becoming smarter on your website? Your website. So you have to have technology that drives the consumer back. Okay? Now people have asked, I can't remember who it was, okay? Katrina, explain why I shouldn't use the MLS searches for my clients, because you're not, do you want them on your website collecting and gathering information. Then the next thing is people will often use a database, which I call it like public storage. It means it holds data. You need a contact management system. A contact management system, okay, a contact management system tracks and monitors all the behavior that happens on your website. Okay? So remember the funnel? You had 50, 22 of them, the 28 will come back to your website every day, every week because of technology. All right? Remember then, 11 to 17 of them will email you directly or call you directly. And then 4 to 7 of them will turn in transactions. The funnel never lies. But if you only have 10 or if you only have 20, okay, then those numbers decrease. So what I teach in the $1 Million Pipeline and why Bobby Dean's generated 158 leads is how to get these numbers here. So your system tracks and monitors all of that behavior. So out of these 22 to 28, Tim, how many leads are you generating a month right now? I'd love to help people on this. So here, out of these 22 to 28, you are going to, okay, you're going to reach out to them because your system is telling you when. If you don't know when, you got to come to the $1 Million Pipeline program. I'm just chatting with a couple people right now. Okay, all right. Now, here are 4 strategies to drive leads back to your website. Okay, Tim, I'll help you, because I don't want that funnel lying. 4 strategies to drive leads back to your website. Number 1 is, remember, if 90% of people are searching for listings and pictures and details, then you send them those. So you use recommended listings. That eliminates other search engines. Okay? When you send them recommended listings, you're eliminating them from collecting and gathering information on other search engines, which is your number 1 goal when you get a lead. Now your next one, okay, is your website should have updated market data or updated neighborhood information. Send them that link. That demonstrates your expertise. Automated listing alerts. So utilizing this, the reason why you want your site to send them listings and drive them back to your website, because it provides you with open windows of relevant content. And it provides a reason for your prospects to contact you directly. Remember why, if you're generating 50 leads, 11 to 17 of them will consistently email you every day, every week within that month. Not every day, but like within a 30-day window, 11 to 17 of them. Because you're providing a reason for your contacts to reach out to you, okay? And then what I think is important is with your sphere of influence, with people that might be 9 months, 12 months, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years out, okay, then you have to put them on different campaigns. So what I teach is having a game plan, okay? So what does the game plan look like? The whole key is to get them back on your website, because once you get them back on your website, you know they're not going anywhere else. You can't. It's not like you can say, "Hey, 50% off all homes this week. Call me." That's not how real estate works. But if you have confidence, no, you can't push their timeline. You can educate them and help them with their timeline. So the whole key is get them on your website, and therefore then you have confidence that they're not going anywhere else. And if they're not going anywhere else, there's really no chance, or very limited chance, that they become a transaction for another agent. So what I teach on a buyer lead, day 1, you send them recommended listings. Drives them back to your website. Day 3, if they haven't been on your website, then you send them market information. Day 5, if they haven't been on your website, or they have, then you sign them up for listing alerts. If they have not been on your website, then I teach the 10 days of pain. Okay. Here's an example. Remember, 90% of people want what? The value of their home, market information, or the majority of them, they want listings. So one of the keys is, here's a great email, and when they click on this or this, what does it do? It drives them right to your website with that home. It doesn't matter if you're a new agent or an agent with no listings, all of the listings in your MLS. Okay, Randy's got a great question. How do you get the leads to start this process? I'm going to walk you through that shortly. Okay, now on the listing side of the business, and I know we're running out of time, so I won't hit this too hard. I have the touch 1, touch 2. Okay, all of this aligns with what consumers want. Again, your whole goal is to get them back to your website. Even if it's a listing lead, get them back to your website. David has a question, what's the 10 days of pain? People that aren't communicating with you, or let me rephrase that, people that haven't been to your website in the last 7 days, okay, they became a lead but haven't been on your website, we have 10 things to do, okay, between specific emails and specific phone messages and phone verbiage to get them to your website. So it's 10 days, 10 specific acts to get them to your website. Okay? And then after, here's the key, guys. After you've gotten them to your website, now it's all about being structured and being organized. So I've created all of these different campaigns. I have campaigns. If you're part of the $1 Million Pipeline program, you get this. Campaigns, so based on their motivation, okay, then you know what campaign to put them on. Okay, now here's the key. This is why a lot of times people are like, I want to determine how serious they are right away. No, you don't. It drops them out of your pipeline. What you want to do is just get them on your website, let them be on your website for the first 7 days, then you know what to do. Okay? Because once they're on your website in the first 7 days, you can then determine what demographic are they in. And what demographic they're in tells you what to send them. Okay? I mean, 10,000 baby boomers are retiring every day. So what are those people doing? Well, 6 months ago or 9 months ago, or people that are about to retire 6 months from now or a year from now, a lot of them have wanted to sell their home in the past couple of years but weren't able to because of market conditions. Now their home prices have increased by X% month after month. So they want to sell and downsize double transaction for you. But you got to know if they're a baby boomer. You can't ask the question, but you determine that based on that plan of attack I did. Gen X, boy, these are people with a couple kids under the age of 10, under the age of 12, and they are, what's most important to them? Neighborhood information, school information, community information. They're really curious about, can they sell, and they want to buy, but they got to get top dollar for their home because they're probably taking on a larger home and a higher mortgage. Okay? Millennials, and we'll talk about this, but in your first 7 days, if you've done it right, then you can easily identify what demographic they fall into. And then when you know what demographic they fall into, you know what content to send them. Also, after 7 days, you can determine, is it a hot lead, is it a moderate lead, or is it a low lead? Okay? And we teach this stuff later on. So again, When you know all of this, now you have permission to do two things. Spend money to get more people in your pipeline, get more leads, or spend time. Okay? Now, when I say spend time, here are several different ways you can generate leads. And I'm not going to I could take 5 hours on each of these classes. Okay? But I just want you to jot down if it's something you want. You can do this on your own, or you can pay people to do this for you. Okay? Search engines, being available on Google, Bing, Yahoo. Okay? It's not lucky that someone just appears on those search engines. There's a specific either dollar amount they're paying or skill. Okay? So when you decide how to do this, how do you appear exclusive? How do you appear as a neighborhood expert? You can utilize Craigslist. You can utilize Facebook. You can utilize Twitter. You can utilize LinkedIn. You can utilize print. All those are ways to generate leads, but it's all targeted. Okay? Whatever you do, your value prop has to be about what? Not about you, but about listings and details or about market information. So no matter where you are being found, okay, and here are some examples of how and where people and consumers are shopping and collecting and gathering information, okay? All of these areas, consumers today are collecting and gathering information about real estate. Don't choose all of these. Choose a minimum of 3 and a maximum of 4, okay? Choose 3 sources and a max of 4 to be found. But guess what? Why is it? This house is your website. This house is your store. Okay? And you are having consumers going to your store, going to your house, going to your website for 2 reasons. To become a lead, to connect directly with you, to be educated, or to be educated ongoing. Okay? Several different ways to do it. Now let me quickly go through. If you're interested in Craigslist, here are some keys. Okay? But it's all about your website. If you want to win any business, it's all about your website. You guys can take a look at these slides when I send them later on, okay, specifically about Craigslist. Here's an example of Craigslist, which is awesome, to generate listing leads. Where do they go? They click on the link. It drives them right to your website. Here are some great examples that you can do on Craigslist. Notice so many times people put pictures of homes on Craigslist. You're disqualifying people. If they don't like that home, there's no chance of them going to your website. So one of the keys is never put pictures of homes. Okay, here's another one. On Craigslist, people are like, is this the time to sell? Curious about how your home stacks up? Home price is up 8.2% in Bellevue. Is yours? Okay, this is how you get more eyeballs to your business. This is how you get more suspects and visitors, of which some will turn into contacts. Okay? George question, what about Craigslist ghosting or banning unless you have specific homes in these categories? There's none. You don't, if you do it the right way. I have classes for this. How about this one? Move to Cardiff or move to Bellevue or move to Bothell for under $400K. You do not have to show listings. Okay? And you will not get ghosted and you will not get banned for doing this. You click on it, people are curious, then immediately when they click on it, okay, attack the FSBO section as well. All these things you can do on Craigslist as well. Okay? If you have the right website, you can do social media. Okay? But it's about 2 things. Neighborhood content, market analysis, or pictures and listings of home. You got to utilize a value proposition that aligns with today's consumer. Okay? Utilize this for social media. People are always curious, especially if, look, just pull data in your city right now. Home prices are up what %? Post that on your Facebook. Okay? But drive them to your website. Okay? Educate them. Become an educator. Become a teacher. Don't become a real, don't appear as if you are a realtor looking for a transaction. Now, everybody wanted to know this part. I think it was Randy. Okay? You want leads. Let me show you an example of it. Okay? Now, 2 things. You can do it yourself, or you can pay different companies. Market Leader, which I like, does this for you. Okay? So let me think about where consumers, when they want to find out homes in their area for sale, what do? They go to your office, right? They call you, right? No, I know. It's not 1985 anymore. 1985, they'd call you. In 1985, they would stop by your office to get those listings. And you pull up the big binder and show them. Okay? What do they do now? Yeah, you're right. They go online. You and I do it too. Okay? So let me just use San Antonio for example, because this is an agent I featured yesterday on a webinar. Okay? Maybe they type in San Antonio homes for sale, listings in San Antonio, condos in San Antonio, what have you. Okay? So ads are going to appear, right? You and I do this. Market Leader creates an ad specifically designed for you. They guarantee it. Okay? You could do this too if you want to. Okay? I don't know how to. But Market Leader has an advertising team that does it for you. Okay? Market Leader will put you in one of these spots to guarantee you a number of leads a month. Pretty cool, huh? Now, let me chat in a question. Okay. So when a consumer chooses your ad, now let me tell you this, you're not going to be here every time, but you're going to be here enough that guarantees you the leads. So think about a guarantee. You can easily predict, let's say you get 50 leads a month. You can easily predict that you're going to get 50 new people into your pipeline every month. So when a consumer chooses your ad, what is it that they want? Listings. And so often agents make the mistake of not providing them with listings immediately. So immediately, this is an example from RE/MAX, the consumer gets listings. Because remember, that's why they're going online the majority of the time, and specifically why they clicked on your ad. So often consumers will click on an ad and they don't get what they want, and what are they doing? Okay? What are they doing? They go backwards. They're not going to go backwards with this because they're getting exactly what they want. Okay? Robert has a question. He's currently generating 30 guaranteed leads a month. Should he increase it to 50 a month or use a Facebook, Craigslist, and YouTube to generate the remaining 20 leads? I personally, Robert, I wouldn't increase. Okay? You and I should probably talk. I'm not a big fan of I want agents, I think agents have to spend money, okay? But I don't want them to spend money if they're not getting a return on it. So you and I should talk. It depends on how much time you want to spend. I think in 30 minutes a day, you can generate another 20 leads a month, and it would be free. If you want those 30 minutes in your day, then pay for it, okay? All right, but we can talk. Let me, so here on the website, a consumer is going to get exactly what they want. If you aren't, I'll be honest with you, if you're not a Market Leader customer, you're missing out on this type of stuff. And then, all right, if they want, notice here, if they want an update with listings sent to them every day or every week, then your system is going to ask them, or your website is going to ask them to register. When they register, that's a guaranteed lead. Okay? And now they're on your site, and they keep going back. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay? So that's the whole key when you're running your business. Okay? I'm just answering a few questions here real quick. Okay? So you can put your ad here yourself, but it's tough. You're competing with other companies. And I will tell you this, most times when you click on these ads, it has nothing. This is the worst one. Mike buys how, or like, you want it all to be about listings or the value of their home. But since they typed in San Antonio homes for sale, then you have to be able to provide them immediately with San Antonio homes for sale. Okay? So decide, spend time doing this yourself or spend money doing it with Market Leader. Okay? Questions? Okay? All right, Katrina's question, is this a corporate website? My individual website looks this nice. It's all individual. It's individually branded to you. Okay? Any questions? Shoot those things. Do you guys want to see the back-end system? So when you get all your leads, what to do with them? Is that what you guys want? Okay? All right, let me type in real quick. And then I want to give you guys a number in case you want leads. The other thing, too, is so Market Leader can provide you with listing leads and buyer leads. But again, if you understand, I'm clicking through it. If you understand what to do with the lead and understand that funnel, then spend time and spend money. If you don't spend any money and don't spend any time if you don't if you don't know what to do with that lead once you get it. Here, so this is Sandra. Okay, Sandra just had a baby 8 weeks ago. Love the kid for that. I mean, I haven't met the kid yet, but Cody, awesome. She's an agent, been an agent for 4 years, very successful. Her ROI, I think she was in the 400,000 in GCI last year. Her ROI was something like 80 or 90,000. Tom's got a question. Are these websites that we need to make, or Market Leader makes the website and the Google Ads? Tom, great question. Market Leader does all that for you. Okay? All right. Randy, let's teach you the plan of attack to do with a lead, and I can walk you through that. Okay? Okay, a couple of things I want to show you. Okay? David, is the $1 Million program a coaching program? Yes, and it's free, all right, for all agents that are serious, though, about increasing their gross commission income by $80,000 a year. Okay? It's not just about, like, it's not, oh, I want to close 10 transactions this year. It's for people that are seriously dedicated to having that 30, 40, 50 transactions a year. Okay? A couple of things on your system, just so you know. Here are 96 people that have registered with here in the last 30 days. Here are the people that have been online since 8 a.m., the last 5 people. Now, remember the funnel, everybody? Okay, so her funnel shows 96. Remember what I said then. With 50, 22 to 28 of them will be on her website, okay, every day, every week. That's with 50. But she has 96, so let's round up to 100. That means between 44 and 56 of them should be, 44 to 56 of them should be online in the last 48 hours. Are you ready? 50. Holy cow. See, the line doesn't lie. Okay? The funnel doesn't lie. 50. Why? Why? Because she's using the right plan of attack. Randy's question, so how did she get them there? The 7-day plan of attack. Recommended listings, listing alerts, Market Insider. That's how. That's the pipeline. Then if we go back, the emails, and these are just the last 5 that she hasn't logged. Look at the email dates: the 9th, the 9th, the 9th, the 8th, the 6th. These are people that are proactively going to her. Just in the last, that's 5 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people in the last 3 days. So what does that look like over the course of 30 days? See, the funnel doesn't lie. Okay, and that's the fun part. Okay, and it's all about having that specific plan of attack. So a lot, like when we talk about how to generate 40 leads in 30 days, Craigslist, but you got to have the right website. Social media, but you have to have the right website. Print marketing, you got to have the right website. Google, AOL, Bing, Yahoo, you got to have the right website. Your referrals, you got to have the right website. Okay? And the website should be really inexpensive, because really the website, you only need 2 things about it. It's got to be able to generate leads. It's got to be able to educate your clients. Okay? So in order to be unique and successful, you got to personalize everything. Okay? What I mean by personalize is you don't need to personalize listings that send out, but you need to personalize, if you have a window of opportunity to reach out to them, then do. Okay? You want to be a part of the $1 Million Pipeline program? All right, these are some of the workshop classes. All right, you want to be a part of Market Leader, which works with well over 125,000 agents. You need leads in your business. Here's the phone number: 888-820-4778. Okay, you want the website that will generate leads, 50% off all leads. Okay, May, June, July, 50% off. How much is it? Depends on your area. The website's 99 bucks. That's it. And the website is specifically designed to educate your consumers, educate your clients, and to generate leads. Okay? 3 months, 50% off. 6 months will get people into your pipeline. All right. 888-820-4778. So some of the people who have chatted in that they don't have a website, they don't have enough leads. Okay, 76% of people right now are generating fewer than 20 leads. If you don't understand, if you want techniques about your pipeline, okay, we do lives. There's some current customers on here, Tom, Randy. We do live every day, Randy, workshops. Every day, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, with an agent, Daleen Wallace. She's a practicing agent. She closes between 6 and 10 transactions every month, and she spends 4 hours a day teaching and coaching agents in the morning, Monday through Thursday. Okay? Okay? 3, if you want advertising, you want leads, 50% off April, excuse me, 50% off May, June, and July. More importantly, I love the $1 Million Pipeline Program. It tells you, do not spend money, do not spend time on leads if you don't know the plan of attack. Okay? Randy, call in to get all this info. Call right now, 888-820-4778. Ask him if you're eligible for the $1 Million Pipeline Program. You got to be serious. We ask you a bunch of questions, okay? Because I will tell you, being part of the $1 Million Pipeline Program, I've heard a lot of success stories about people that are already in that 20 transaction range already since January. Why? Because they're generating 50, 60, 70 leads. It's not by accident we've taught all those classes, okay? 888-820-4778. Any additional questions? All right, thank you very much, Nancy and Teresa. I'm glad that you're going to become market leader customers, all right, and get your leads into your pipeline. Remember the whole pipeline. All right, 888-820-4778. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Have a great rest of your week. Bye-bye.